A shocking incident has unfolded in one of the capital's most recognizable financial districts. Police have launched an urgent investigation after a young woman in her 20s was allegedly raped out in the open in Canary Wharf. According to the Metropolitan Police, emergency services were called to Hertfordshire Road at around 4:25 a.m. on Saturday, August 23rd. Officers responded alongside the London Ambulance Service after reports of a serious sexual assault. The victim was immediately taken to hospital, where she is now being supported by specialist officers trained to deal with cases of this nature. At this stage, no arrests have been made. Detectives have confirmed that they are treating this as a priority investigation and are carrying out urgent inquiries in and around the Canary Wharf area. They are also appealing directly to the public for assistance. Police have asked that anyone who may have seen or heard anything in the early hours of Saturday morning on Hertfordshire Road, or anyone with information that could help the investigation, to come forward immediately. Here is some footage from the scene. This incident is particularly shocking given the location. Canary Wharf is one of the most heavily policed and monitored areas in London, filled with CCTV, security patrols, and foot traffic even at night. That makes the allegation of such a serious offence being carried out in public all the more alarming. For local residents and those who work in the financial district, this will raise fresh concerns about safety in an area that is often seen as secure and protected. For the wider public, it is a reminder of the very real dangers women continue to face across the capital, even in places assumed to be safe. The Metropolitan Police have emphasized that the victim is receiving full support and that officers will continue to devote significant resources to tracking down the suspect. However, until an arrest is made, they are relying on the public to provide any information that could help move the case forward. To recap, a woman in her 20s has been taken to hospital after an alleged rape on Hertfordshire Road in Canary Wharf in the early hours of August 23rd. No arrests have yet been made, and police are appealing for witnesses urgently. We will continue to monitor this story closely and bring you any updates as soon as they become available. In other news, Nigel Farage will tell Lucy Connolly's story to members of Congress in the US in a bid to secure American support for free speech in Britain. The Reform UK leader and staunch Donald Trump ally will travel to Washington, D.C. in September to give evidence at a crucial free speech hearing. He is set to make Mrs. Connolly's political imprisonment central to his evidence. Mr. Farage will testify at the House Judiciary Committee at the Capitol on September 3rd. However, Mrs. Connolly will be unable to attend due to a clause in her license barring her from traveling abroad without permission. The childminder and Tory councillor's wife was finally released from HMP Peterborough on Thursday after spending months behind bars for a social media post. In the post, she called for mass deportations, a policy now set to become a key pillar of Reform UK's push for power in 2029. Set fire to all the effing hotels full of them for all I care, Mrs. Connolly had also written online before removing the post just hours later. In jail, Mr. Farage's deputy, Richard Tice, revealed that Mrs. Connolly had been left bruised after being dragged up 3 flights while Mrs. Connolly's husband, Raymond, said just days ago that her fellow inmates cracked up when they were told of what she had been jailed for. Also during her stint behind bars, ex-Reform MP Rupert Lowe invited her to attend a Westminster debate on his landmark petition to review the possible penalties for social media posts. Evidently, Lucy is better qualified to talk on this than all of us, Mr. Lowe said, adding that he was pleased to confirm that she would be in attendance as a guest of honor. And speaking to GB News, high-profile American political commentator Charlie Kirk promised to inform US Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio of her jailing. "I'm going to bring this up to Marco Rubio. I'm going to send him a text," Kirk confirmed to the People's Channel. Mr. Rubio's State Department's annual Human Rights Practices report went on to warn of credible reports of serious restrictions on freedom of expression in the UK. It said there were specific areas of concern regarding restrictions on political speech deemed hateful or offensive under Labour. Upon her eventual release, Mr. Farage declared Mrs. Connolly a symbol of Keir Starmer's authoritarian, broken, two-tier Britain. And in a bombshell interview with The Telegraph, the childminder said she had absolutely been the Prime Minister's political prisoner. In May, Sir Keir said, "I am strongly in favour of free speech. We've had free speech in this country for a very long time, and we protect it fiercely." Responding to Rupert Lowe at PMQs, he added, "But I am equally against incitement to violence against other people. I will always support the action taken by our police and courts to keep our streets and people safe." Farage's intervention in Washington is likely to ignite fresh debate on Britain's balance between free expression and public safety. While Labour insists that incitement to violence must never be tolerated, Reform and its allies are framing Connolly's conviction as proof that political speech is under threat. With American lawmakers now set to weigh in, the case has shifted from a domestic controversy to an international flashpoint, one that could have major implications for how Britain's approach to free speech is viewed on the world stage. In other news, Donald Trump's administration has uncovered more than 1,000 documents linked to Prince Harry's US visa case, newly released court records show. The US Department of State, which oversees visa applications, confirmed it has located 1,007 papers relating to the Duke of Sussex. The revelation comes amid ongoing scrutiny over whether Harry was fully transparent about past drug use when applying to live in America. The cache includes 217 records from the Office of the Secretary of State, the equivalent of the UK's Foreign Secretary, along with 517 potentially responsive records from the Bureau of Consular Affairs, which handles visa processing. A further 271 documents were identified within the Office of the Legal Advisor, and 2 from the Office of the Deputy Secretary of State. The scale of the paperwork suggests Harry's case was subject to significant internal discussion, raising questions over how his high-profile status may have influenced decision-making. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comments section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.